So what's the deal with the new Amazon Prime Video series, The Boys? Most of the people who have watched the show love the show, but there are some comic book fans who feel a little differently and have some different perspectives on it. And without doubt, it is a much darker and grittier comic book series than anything we have seen from the biggest comic book platforms on the world, DC and Marvel. And fortunately, it is not as bold as the actual comics of The Boys, but it didn't disappoint anyone on that aspect. Not to us at least. But just how different is The Boys from other comic book movies or TV series? Let's find out. There might be some spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched the show and are going to watch the show, stop the video right now. A little backstory first. The Boys revolves around one main idea that superheroes are bastards. They create fake crises so they can have some fun themselves. They rape, steal and murder, but then get away with it because people at large believe that superheroes are the same as they read in comics and see on news channels. Huey then meets Billy Butcher and the rest of the boys, who are kinda like CIA-backed Black Ops team who takes down the Supes either by violence or blackmail. We have compared the realism and pragmatism in The Boys and other comic book movies and TV series. The first thing in the list of positives is blood and guts. Real life blood and flesh shots make it more relatable and more realistic, which we suppose might happen when Supes fight mere mortals. Also, some people may argue that there are some scenes in the R-rated DC movies, like the Black Mask cutting out faces of people in the Birds of Prey, but overall The Boys has done a more precise job and that really ups the game. The second thing that we liked about the show is its global realistic approach. In other comic book movies, we have seen that Supes sometimes have some jurisdictions, like Superman is in Metropolis, Batman stays in Gotham, Spider-Man is born in Queens. And yes, they also go outside and help each other, but mostly their storyline is tied to one city. And as in The Boys, the heroes aren't born, they are made. So it really gives an interesting turn to the story with some relatable political activities carried on. Third on the list is the long-term effect of unwanted killings. When Supes fight each other, they knowingly or accidentally kill innocent people too. So how would their loved ones work for justice, or how would the people react when they found out about the reality is in the heart of the show. Next is the personal lives of the Supes. It is definitely more relatable and they just feel like enhanced humans, from using phones in their costumes, trying to use their reputation to earn money, or posting on social media and watching the memes. Also, they have a fresh perspective of how Superman could turn out to be if he didn't have smart and loving parents, as we saw in Man of Steel, and was controlled by a private company. One more thing that we loved about the show is the business part. The Seven are the face of a major corporation named WAT. They are hired by local governments and townships. WAT organizes events, sells merchandise, and have a PR team for the Supes, just like movie stars. It also shows how companies can use the circumstances for their benefit and earn money out of it. Even though other comic book TV series had companies which brought in money for the Supes, they neglected this part. For example, Star Labs in the series The Flash. There are some things that we didn't like about the show or didn't get it. Maybe fans won't like it. The first thing that we didn't like about the show is that the characters are too much similar and it feels that they are using someone else's established brand value, mock them and then capitalize on it. But maybe this point is debatable because The Boys originated under DC Comics, and after some time DC was concerned about the content the Boys were showing. So it allowed the creators to take The Boys somewhere else. But as a comic book fan, some things doesn't feel right. The second thing on the list is that heroes create bad guys. The origin of the villains in the comic books come from the actions of the heroes, creating two teams or two sides having different ideologies. So this felt a lot similar in The Boys. Third on the list is secret identity. All other comic book movies have kept a clear standpoint of how their Supes keep their secret identity. The Boys hasn't been clear yet of how every Supe feels or keeps their secret identity. And why are the boys moving around like there's nothing happening? Especially Butcher and Huey. For example, Huey going to the garden to meet Annie and dropping her at the metro. Just don't get it. We also don't get the love life of Huey. How fast he moved on from Robin. And the show heavily focuses on Annie and Huey's relationship. But in the actual comics, Huey doesn't use that relation to get his hands on WAT. And all of this makes us wonder, what does Huey do to get back-to-back girlfriends? The last thing that we didn't like about the show was its character building. Season 1 introduced a lot of characters and it felt a little rushed. There are some strong characters who could have used a little more screen time. In the actual comics, pace was very balanced and each character had a proper build-up. So we feel that the pace and the balance in the actual comics is far better than the TV show. So that's how we feel about The Boys when compared to other comic book movies and TV series. Despite the shortcomings that we pointed out, it is a must-watch show for all the superhero lovers, and you have to take the bad with the good in The Boys. Hope you liked the video. If you have any different similarities or differences, let us know in the comment section.